Hi, welcome back to another episode of my kitchen. This is my 250th video recipe. Channel's been going for over 2 years, and this is an essential recipe for anybody that likes base gravies, anybody that wants to try something new, anybody who loves curry and wants to make a great sauce which can be pre-made, which is really simple. And why I call it the Magic 10 Essential Curry Sauce is because it has the magic 10 ingredients that most general curries tend to use. Now let's talk about the ingredients. We're going to be using some oil, some ginger and garlic paste, some onions, some chopped fresh tomatoes, and we have spices in descending order of quantity. We have 2 tablespoons of coriander, 1.5 tablespoons of cumin powder, 1 tablespoon of Kashmiri chili powder, half a tablespoon of haldi powder, and half a tablespoon of salt. And they are the magic 10. And I'm just going to show you how you can transform this into something really great. Do yourself a favour and pre-roast or warm up, just to get the oils going, the cumin and the coriander seed, and blend them, and you're just going to get an amazing taste. This is a simple recipe, but it's really the potential of the basic signature ingredients in curry production. It's going to be so versatile. I'm going to incorporate this sauce into some of my recipes that are coming up, and I'm going to show you how we keep it simple here, but then we go for the refined signature tastes in the dishes. And I've used less salt because you can add salt to the main dish as it's cooking, so it's always better to add less. So let's get cooking. So first of all, I'm going to add a reasonably good quantity of oil into a pan, just to cover the bottom. We're talking a cup of oil there, but don't worry. Oil is the transporter of flavour and texture, and this is going to create up to 10 individual curries, so we'll let that heat up. Next we're going to add our 6 medium onions that I've cut up coarsely but rather fine, because we're going to be blending this. So we'll add all the onions, we'll give them a good stir, then we're going to put a lid on them. Nice high heat. So check it every 2 or 3 minutes. All those juices coming out of the onions, give them a stir. They're not all uniformly cut, so some are going to cook a little bit quicker than others, so it's important to give it a stir. And what we're looking for is to get a really nice onion pulp. They'll drastically reduce in size, so that's enough. We're going to put the lid back on, and we'll come back in about 3 or 4 minutes. So about 3 minutes later, check. Good stir. Make sure the dark bits are evenly distributed. You don't want to cause burning in particular places. And they're sweating down nicely. So that's been about 12 minutes in total. Give it a good stir again. Make a little well in the centre and add the ginger and garlic paste. And that'll speed up the caramelisation of the onions actually, because it's very fine and it'll cook a lot quicker. And once we mix all that in, and we want to get rid of the raw flavour of the ginger and garlic, give it a good stir. We're going to put the lid back on and cook for another 3 to 5 minutes. So that's all nicely sizzled. Do not burn your ginger and garlic. Now it's time to add those fresh tomatoes and all those amazing spices. And again, we can give that a good stir. The spices are going to absorb a lot of the oil, so just keep stirring. We'll come back once that's really stirred. So scrape any caramelisation that's appeared off the bottom, around the edges. So that's great. So what we want to do now I'm adding 350 grams of water, which will really change things up. And we want those, similar to what we did to the onions, we want those tomatoes to disintegrate. So nice high heat now. And we all know about splitting the oil. It ensures good cooking and thorough cooking. Oil simply won't split unless you have some water content. So it's really important to add this water at the time. We're going to put the lid on, turn it back to the heat, check it every 3 or 4 minutes, and it'll be done when it's done. It's a process and we can't give a timing on this. That's the fallacy really of good cooking. Everybody's recommending timing on recipes. When the process is done, it's done. So give it a stir every couple of minutes. Make sure nothing's sticking to the pan. Those onions are starting to dissolve, and we're going to repeat the process until everything's disappeared into that juice. So it's really starting to smell like a proper quintessential curry now. Get some oil splitting. I'm adding another cup of water. I'm going to give that a little stir, and we want to maintain that high temperature. So that's been about 15 minutes. Tomatoes are nearly disappeared. What you've got really, you could have skinned the tomatoes if you want, just immerse them in hot water and let them cool down. You can peel the skin off, but what you can see is the tomato skin. So give it a really good stir. And we're going to add some more water, and it looks pretty brown at the moment, but don't worry, well, once we blend it you can see the benefits of that turmeric coming through shortly. Just going to give that a good stir. We're going to let it come to the boil once again. Wow, we're getting some really fantastic looking gravy in parts of this now, but you'll see it will miraculously transform once we've blended. I'm just going to let that come to the boil. The oil's going to split once again, and we're going to blend it, and we'll come back shortly. So I've transferred this into a deeper cooking vessel. I'm going to add about another 40% of its volume in water again, so it'll cool down very quickly. And now, using a stick blender, I'm going to blend into a very, very fine paste. So blend it until it's absolutely silky smooth. So I've added some more water once we got a very, very silky smooth texture. And how do you know it's smooth enough? Can you see it just covers a spoon? So that's a good indication to a perfect texture, or waterness if you like. So I've just washed the original pan that we fried all those onions and ingredients down, and I'm just going to let it come to the boil once. I was going to say this is optional, but if it's optional you don't have to do it, do you? If it's a matter of preference. But this is a good idea, just to heat everything up, get some oil on the surface, then stir it in, then transfer it. Great texture, great taste. Then transfer it into your takeaway containers, put it into the freezer. You know, you can either defrost it in the microwave or put it in a saucepan with a little bit more water. It's fine. So thank you very much for watching. That took about 35 to 40 minutes. I just do not see the point in making massive big batches of base gravy full of coriander and all types of I don't know what, when you can do it really quick. And can somebody answer the question as why would you want to spend that long when you've got perfectly adequate, properly cooked, fried, sizzled, seasoned, balanced, original ingredients here in this base gravy? So do stay tuned for recipes that I'm going to be using with this sauce. And the great thing about the sauce is that when we're adding it to a curry or a dish, we can use any ingredients that we want as a to enhance this flavour and make every dish truly, truly unique. And I'd just like to say a big thank you to all the people that have watched, liked and subscribed over the 2.5 years. This is my 250th video, like I've mentioned, and I've had the chance to talk to a lot of great and interesting people, received a whole load of lovely comments from people worldwide who I wouldn't have known existed if it hadn't been for this channel. So thank you very much once again.